Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So in today's episode, I wanted to cover the full event deck and also how to play it well to maximize damage. We're going to go up against the hard as well as medium bosses with a focus on trying to get overkill. Now, there was also a significant update to the game today where both the Master Collection card and the event card got a buff, and especially got a healing ability to their nuke. So Babylonica has a 75% recovery now whenever you deal the nuke attack, and our Bramaton and Eleanor will heal for 45% of recovery whenever you deal the nuke. So this means that you no longer need to have a healing card that is outside of the event deck, so you can have the full potential of the deck, and that is making it easier to deal damage to the hard boss. So we're going to take a look and see how that works. So let's take a look at some of the different deck configurations, and we'll see how we can deal damage there. To kick things off, we're going to start with a team that contains 3 feature cards, 1 Master Collection card, and 1 Ultra Rare. We're going to go up against a level 485 hard boss, Lila, with 1.2 trillion health. And we're going to show how we can use this particular deck to deal enough damage to take it out in 1 3-key attack. So once we fill up the battle skill, as you see here, it's a pretty straightforward way to play the deck afterwards. You just have to activate all of the feature cards and Master Collection card first before you activate Ultra Rare. Before you hit 100 intensity, you will refill and you'll reset and refill 1 hero's battle skill, so then you'll just activate that as well. Once you hit 100 intensity, the number of heroes that get their battle skills reset and refill goes up to 2. Now notice that what happens here, I was actually hit by Might, but I didn't actually activate my battle skills at this point, and so I almost died because I wasn't healing myself. So every time you nuke, notice that we're healing here, and so at this point, I actually get really lucky. As you can see here, I do my matches and I managed to match a heart gem. So I was able to heal up a little more. So I learned my lesson there and I made sure that I continued to activate everything. Moving on a little bit further, here's a critical point where this is really the key strategy for this long fight. You'll notice that we're down to 7 seconds in the fight, but I've created a power gem that is an off affinity. So the key to this particular setup is that you will never overwrite the off affinity power gem. Once you hit intensity 300, you're going to max out on the number of power gems you can create. So you can see here, I have 4 heroes that I'm nuking, and then once I reset and refill, all 4 of them are refilled and I can activate everything, and I never overwrite that 1 single off affinity power gem, so I can use that to my advantage for 96 billion damage. And that is pretty consistent throughout because I'm getting 1,000% increase to my attack, and that is what I get consistently. As you can see here, I repeat the cycle again and I'm able to deal again approximately 96 billion for this fight. And I'm able to also heal during this whole time. The boss damages for about 44,000 and my heal amount is for 41,000. And so what you can see here is we're going to continue going here, and you want to match fast. So my average time is about 0.4 seconds between when I match the power gems and when I stop the clock. And so with that, I'm able to continue to keep going, and because of the heals, I never dip low enough. As long as I don't actually get hit by Might, I was actually doing pretty well there. So we're on to the very last set of power gem swaps now, and we're able to take down the boss with only 24 billion health remaining. With our damage output, we were able to take out the boss easily with 2.64 seconds remaining. Next, we're going to take on a level 494 medium boss, Marvel of Mado, using the same team with 112 billion health. The goal here is to try to get as high a overkill as possible, but once you reach about level 480 or so with this particular setup, I'm not able to get 100% overkill, although 50% is often possible. So the strategy I employ here is I actually try to activate everything before I reach 100 intensity. I activate everything and I refill 1 and activate that as well. And then instead of doing a power gem swap, I just do a regular match. So I left myself with 6 total power gems there. I was intending for more, but there was an unfortunate gem drop there. At this point, then I activate everything with 100 intensity because I get an additional hero I can activate. And so with that, I'm able to do a power gem swap this time, and I dealt 60 billion damage total to the boss, taking it down to 46 billion. So then the next turn, I basically rinse and repeat, do the same thing again, and this time there's a little less power gems on the board, so I knew that I wouldn't be able to take out the boss fully, and that is the intent. I'm trying to get the boss health down as low as possible before I actually take it out. And so after all of the drops, I'm able to deal 34 billion damage this time, leaving the boss with 11 billion. And so now I'm at 150 intensity, so I actually wait a couple of turns until I get to 200 because I want to maximize the number of power gems I can generate, so then I can refill three heroes this time. And then with this activation, I'm able to deal just enough damage to deal almost 50% overkill. I actually missed by just a slight margin. At the end of it, I missed by about 500 million. Next, we're going to switch out the team a little bit. We're going to take out the feature card and we're going to put in Sycamore, the support card, in its place. So with 3 nukers on this team now, the maximum number of power gems that this team can generate will be 18, compared to the counterpart that had 4 nukers on the team, which had 32. The difference is 14 power gems. And so to overcome that difference, we need to employ a strategy that will allow us to have the maximum number of power gems on the board. And so that means we need to do more gems matches as opposed to power gem swaps. So what you see I'm doing here is I'm just trying to do gem matches so I don't clear out the earth gems, so I can leave more power gems on the board. And I also want to make sure that I activate Sycamore along with when I have the maximum number of gems. So you can see my first attempt here, I didn't really deal a lot of damage. I was able to take it down from 113 to 97 billion. So I needed to rinse and repeat and do the same strategy again. And what you'll see this time is the gems actually lined up a little better for me this time, and I had a better setup with more scattered power gems. But the problem is Sycamore wasn't actually available at this point. And so after I activate everything, I just do another swap, but another gem match. But I didn't match enough to power up everybody, so I do another gem match there to make sure that everybody is available. Incidentally, this also put me over 200 intensity so that I could actually reset and refill the battle skill of the entire team. And at that point, I'm able to activate everybody, and I was able to deal a total of 64 billion against the boss. So with 29 billion remaining, all that's left to do is to do a similar setup here where I leave some power gems behind and then activate everything, because at this point, I have everything all maxed out. I will be able to generate the maximum number of 18 power gems each time I reset. And so the goal is to leave more power gems on the board before I do so. And this is exactly what I try to do. So I was able to only leave about 3 power gems though. I had hoped for more, but at this point I decided to go for it. And so activate everything again. So you want to wait until Sycamore's available, and you always activate Sycamore last, because that will give you the total number of, you'll increase the total number of gems on the board. And so with this, I was able to deal enough damage to take out the boss and move on to the next level. Now we're going to try a team that doesn't have an ultra rare card, so we're going to use a combination of 2 event cards and 1 master collection with 2 Sycamore. Now, without the ultra rare card in place, it doesn't matter then about your intensity. So then the goal here is to try to have the following: either the highest value power gem available, or have the maximum number of power gems that you can have before activating everything. And so what I try to do in this case is I try to build up my power gems that's on the board. I wasn't very successful here because I didn't have good gem matches. So I activate everything, but I decided to actually only activate 1 Sycamore at a time, because Sycamore actually will generate gems for 2 turns. And so what I do here is, again, I don't do a power gem swap, I just do a gem match, just enough so I can activate my 3 nukes again to add more power gems on the board. And at this point, I then decide to activate Sycamore again, and then do a power gem swap, and I'm able to deal over 5 billion damage to take out the boss easily here. This particular team was able to deal over 7 billion damage in this particular fight, so it was able to take out the easy boss relatively easy. And you can also use this against a medium boss and you'll have relative good success, especially since you can do multiple hits. So I think this is a viable team for that purpose as well. Now for the last team, what I wanted to showcase is a team with 1 ultra rare and 1 event card. I fill out the rest of the team actually with 2 Drew Pachyceps and 1 Satyr for additional power gem and also for heals. So with this particular team, the strategy is pretty simple. So basically increase the number of intensity as high as possible. I added a couple of god relics there to increase the intensity so that I could fill the board as much as possible with those 2 Guru Pachyceps, and we'll skip ahead to the last 30 seconds of this fight to show you how that will work out. So you can see here that we're able to take the boss's health down to 1.7 billion, and that is basically the same strategy and the same sequence of activation. So we activate the event card first, then ultra rare, then event card, Satyr, followed by Guru Pachyceps. With that, we'll have a full board of gems, and with the power gems that are close to each other, we can do a power gem swap. And with that, we're able to deal just enough damage to be able to take out the boss at this level with those 2 cards. So that's all the decks I wanted to showcase today. There's still a lot more possibilities, but hopefully this is something that is useful for you. You can draw ideas from that. Just some final parting thoughts. I think that the change to add heal for both the Master Collection card and also the event card is a really good change. It would have worked without, but I would be putting in a healer card that you see here, and it would have reduced the damage overall, and also it just forces us to not be able to use the full event deck. So with this change, Sycamore, the support card, has a place in the deck again, which is a good thing. So that's it for today's episode. Thanks a lot for watching again. Please leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.